Surprise, everyone. Hey, so we got an update to Final Cut Pro. Now, I've been talking about 10.7, but I didn't discount 10.6.9, although I wasn't figuring on, this is an update for, let me put this download. This is an update for the iPhone 15. I mean, it's obvious that's what it's for. So here we go. Now, lots of questions about this update, though. Lots of questions that we're going to be discussing. Good afternoon. Can't wait to talk about this update. Let me just adjust this real quick. I'm going to style dynamic, shrink. Let me see what this one says. From Jamaica. Let me just, more options. Fly-in auto. Nope, fly-in from the bottom. Here we go. All right, so that should take care of that. Oh, wait a minute. What the heck's going on there? That's not it. Text box shrink. Dynamic. I'm just getting a few things adjusted here. Just hold on one second, please. Donald from Arkansas. Fantastic. Trying to get these comments adjusted. Donald, I think that's the first time you've been on the show, I think. Maybe not. Let me just see what other options we have. So we're going to talk about just released hours ago, Final Cut Pro 10.6.9. Now, we've been talking about the possibility of 10.7, that it's still not off the table for this year. iPad got an update too, more stuff, but it sent one version. Donald said first time, yes. That's what I thought. First time, yes. Let me just raise this up a little bit. There we go. Hi, Richard. Good evening. Just got the Rode Wireless Pro kit. Fantastic, Yari. That looks like it's to be a great, the Rode Wireless Pro kit. It's even tempting me, as much as I like my DJI system, which I really, really like. I'm kind of waiting to see what DJI does in response to the Rode Wireless Pro. If they don't put something out, then I'm going to probably just get the Rode Wireless Pro, and I'll have this and both the Rode Wireless Pro. Looks like a fantastic, fantastic kit. Our friend Spotty Guy Lewis, Philadelphia, Final Cut Pro iPad Junior is updated. Yes, it is. Final Cut for iPad has been updated, as well as Final Cut. So let's just get right into it, okay? Let's just get right into it. Anyone who can't update their OS past Monterey 10.6.8 trash can use it, you can't update past 10.6.8. That's very interesting. I tried to update to 10.6.9 before the show, and it said my Mac OS has to be updated first. So, hello from Vancouver, Toby. Toby says hello from Vancouver. So I can adjust the size of the icons now. The little icons you guys have. Guys, we missed this one. Good evening from Norway. What's going on? Torgrim, we have 10.6.9 just came out. Did I miss these? I missed a bunch of updates. Final Cut. Oh, we already saw that one. Torgrim, I missed Torgrim for some round. What's going on? 10.6.9 came out. I'll wait for you guys to try it for a couple months. The previous version working just fine. Yeah, but listen, I can't do that this time. First off, let's just pull this up. Oh, let me see here. First off, I have to update this time. Why do I have to update? I have to update because where is that? This is why I have to update. Your order has shipped. We'll send you tracking information. Arrives Friday, September the 22nd. I have to update. Oh, I have to double click to video source, cam link. There we go. So I have to update. I got this coming in a couple of days. I have to update. I got an iPhone 15 Pro Max coming. I got the 1 terabyte version, so I have to update. Now, before you update and cause yourself any problems, make a duplicate of your Final Cut Pro app in the applications folder. Hey, look at this. Final Cut Pro Radio t-shirt. These are sold out. They've been sold out for a long time. But if people wanted them, I might make some more copies. Who the heck knows? So let's go back to that. I have to update. I got an iPhone coming. I want to shoot log, ProRes log. I have 4 different SSDs that I'll be able to shoot to. Not only log, but I'll be able to shoot this. $4K 60, ProRes 4K 60. Now, why did I put that above it? I'll be able to shoot this, ProRes 4K 60, to an external USB-C SSD. I have to update. I got to update the OS, and I have to update the Final Cut Pro this time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Have to do it. Couple more comments. I have a Mac Pro trash can. I have a nice fern planted in it. There you go. Yari says 1069 does need to update the libraries. Make a backup copy of your libraries. Make a backup copy of your application. I've already made backup copies of 1067, 1066. And I will be updating to 1069 because my iPhone's on the way. Just got back from 10 days filming in northern Norway. Last day camera fell in the ocean. Sony FX9, not too deep though. Wow. Eric says his libraries did not update with this. Maybe if you were on 1068, you don't have to. What did you find in iPhone that made you purchase? So I update my iPhone every year because this is one of my main cameras. I have this with me all the time. You've heard it said, the camera that's with you is a good camera, the best camera. I have this with me all the time. It's at my bedside at night. When I get up in the morning and go for my walk, I have this. So I use this so much. I use my 14 Pro Max so much. There's no doubt that I would be updating. I update every year. But the 5x optical zoom lens, the external, the USB-C port, it's a no-brainer. I can now record to external SSDs, ProRes 60 frames per second, and now the ProRes log I don't know, the log shoots internally, I think. I don't think. Jeremy says all these forced updates are bullshit. Well, I don't know about, I don't know if they're forced, but you're saying I understand. You're saying with the Mac OS. Congrats with iPhone 15, absolutely. Don't do iPhones. Don't use them in Final Cut. I'll stay with 1068. That's completely fine. That's complete. I'm on 10.6.6. I'm not even on 10.6.8. I do shoot with iPhones. I shoot with them all the time. I do a lot of mobile journalism, and I can't live without my iPhone. When I go to the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit, November the 6th, I'll be shooting with my iPhone and with this baby. With this baby. This is my Panasonic Lumix S5 Mark IIX. This is the 50 millimeter f1.8 prime lens. I'll be bringing 2 prime lenses. Thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. I'll be bringing 2 prime lenses with me, the f50 and the the 50 millimeter and the 24 millimeter. Both of them are primes. Both of them are f1.8, so they'll shoot really good in low light. I love this camera. This camera is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. This guy got a light cage on it. So I'll be bringing this with me and my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Can't wait. Can't wait for that Pro Max on Friday. It's coming. Spot Lewis says, I want a t-shirt. If I can order them. I'm not sure what they are nowadays. I haven't done them for a few years, but this is Final Cut Pro Radio. Final Cut Pro Radio. Fox Mahoney did the logo for me over there at Motion something, VFX something. ProRes RAW. I don't think it shoots RAW. ProRes, it shoots not RAW. It shoots, what do they call that other thing? Log. It shoots log. ProRes log. Not the same. Jump in, Richard. The water's fine. I have to. 10.6.9 does not need a libraries update. Okay, it does not need a libraries update. That's good to know. I'm on 10.6.6, so I probably will. If you're in the middle of a project, don't update. Thank me later. Absolutely. Don't update. Thank you for the thumbs up. And don't forget, back up your copy of Final Cut. Back up before you update. Go into the applications folder, make a backup copy, zip a copy, whatever you got to do. Looks like my trash can has reached the end of the road. No, it still works, right? It still works. You mean the end of the road for updates, but it still works. You can still edit with it, so it's fine. I hope somebody comes up with a solution for providing power to those new iPhones where we have stuff hooked up to them, SSD drives, USB-C microphones, maybe a small compatible USB-C hub. Look to OWC to do that or some other third party. I expect that to happen. Hi, Richard. Good evening from Ireland. We're getting closer to 10.7 at the summit. I hope so. I hope so. Now, the summit's only 5 weeks away at this point. I sure hope we at least get a preview of 10.7 at the summit. I hope. I hope. But like I said, my expectations are down here. I'd like them to be exceeded. Still on 10.6.5, afraid for my plugins. That's a consideration. Make a backup copy of Final Cut Pro before you update. I'm going to have to make a backup copy of my whole operating system. I'll do that before my phone comes in. My phone is due on Friday. I'll be watching that. And I certainly want to start shooting with log right off the bat to see how that works. Oh boy. I wonder how fast the battery will drain on the iPhone 15 Pro if you have a drive or mic hooked up. Good point, because your phone's going to be powering your SSD drive. They do. It's called a dock for the iPhone, though. What's up? Does the new update still work on 2016 MacBook Intel? Don't know. I do not know if it does or not. Let's go over there to see what the release notes say. Let's go over there and see what the release notes say. Here we go. Here we go. Go. Web page with cams. Here we go. So, I don't want that. What's new in 10.6.9? Let's boost up the text a little bit. Released September 19th, 2023. Get my picture out of the way. Go up there. Take advantage of the flexibility and dynamic range of log encoded video. Shot on iPhone 15 and 15 Pro Max. That's one of the things. That's the big one. I'm excited about log. I'm excited about shooting on external SSDs, transferring files at USB 3 speeds. That's such a big deal to me because I've been tortured with using this. I have to go over there. Wait a second. Cam link. No, I don't want green screen. There we go. Absolutely. Use third-party log profiles. Look at this. Third-party log profiles, enhanced look of footage shot on popular cameras from Fujifilm, ARRI. Add support. This is curious. Add support for cinematic video recorded on with iOS 17. What has changed? What has changed with iOS 17 that they had to update Final Cut Pro for cinematic video recorded with iOS 17? What's changed? Something has changed because we've had cinematic video in Final Cut Pro for years now compatible. Thanks for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. Hard to judge what this means for a 10.7 update soon. Could argue either way. I agree. Remember, my expectations for Final Cut Pro updates are way down here. Are down. So I'm not expecting a lot. This was a nice surprise, although I talked about this. I did an article about this. I was saying an update to coincide with the macOS update, which is coming out in a couple of to 26, Monday, Tuesday. I said that, we could see a Final Cut Pro update around that update, which is a Final Cut Pro update in September is unusual. But since the phone's coming out, this is an iPhone 15 Pro Final Cut Pro update, period. That's what this is. Does it preclude 10.7 later this year? Here's what I hope is going to happen. I hope we're going to see at least a preview of 10.7 at the Creative Summit. If we don't, then my expectations are met. My expectations are low, and they're met. But I still have hope for it that it will happen. So I agree, Eric. It's hard to judge. This could go either way. This could preclude 10.7 at the summit, or it just could mean this is a little sneaky one they put in there because of the iPhone, and they have to support log footage. They can certainly put out 10.6.9 now in September and 10.7 in November. Absolutely could do that. Absolutely. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. It is absolutely, absolutely appreciated. Doberman guy says it will run on any Mac supporting macOS 12.6 or later. There's the answer. You guys and gals are the best. People come in with questions, you answer their questions. I don't have time to look them all up, absolutely. Richard, check out the Polar new Pro new iPhone case. It is a camera protector and everything. You can use any Polar Pro filters on even normal cameras if you have them. I will indeed. I have Moment lenses right now. I'm not going to be buying any more Moment lenses. I'm going to be selling my Moment lenses. Listen, I got a 5x optical zoom on the iPhone 15 Pro. I got lots of lenses. The only thing that I want to get, thank you very much for the thumbs up. The only thing that I want to get is an anamorphic lens that'll work on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's the only lens that I'm really interested in getting at this point, because I do like anamorphic. So I haven't decided on what brand I'm going to go with. I predict no 10.7 update for Creative Summit. Now that they've released 10.6.9, those slobs will sit on their asses. So they're not slobs. Come on. We love the Final Cut Pro team. We love the Final Cut Pro team. Okay? There are friends. There are friends. When is the summit? It's November the 6th, 7th, and 8th. November the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Torgrim, come on. You have to know that. Let's pull that up real quick. For Torgrim. Let's pull that up for Mr. Torgrim. This is the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit right here. November the 6th through the 8th. Program. Let's pull this up. Apple Day, November the 6th. We're going to be at Apple Spaceship Campus all day long. One full day at Apple Spaceship Campus. We don't know the details yet. You can see it says details, Apple Day. They're showing you the Spaceship Campus. Stay tuned for more details. We don't know the details yet, but we're going to be at Spaceship Campus for one full day. All day, Monday, November the 6th. To me, that's worth the $299 by itself. Being able to go to Spaceship Campus for one day, it's worth it to me by myself. So, Creative Summit, November 6th through the 8th. Dates confirmed. You can book, get discount right here if you want to. Book at the hotel, Cupertino. And not only the $299, which is way cheaper than it used to be, one complimentary certification exam voucher. That alone is worth $149. That alone is worth $149. That's included for the $299. I'm excited about Apple Day. I am excited about Apple Day on Monday, going to the Spaceship Campus. I really am. Absolutely am excited about that. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. Absolutely. Let me see what else I got here. Just looking at a couple of things. Here we go. So one thing I want to bring up is I need your support to get to the summit. I need your support. You can buy me a coffee over there at buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor. Now, it's not just coffees, okay? It's buy me a coffee, but I need money for Uber rides. I need money for miscellaneous things besides coffee, but I will be buying coffee. We already got Thomas Collins has bought a coffee. He bought one from the last show. So that's very, very cool. So if you go to buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor, I'll copy that. I would appreciate it. Buy me a coffee. It's not just coffee. It might be hamburger. It might be an Uber ride. It helps support the expense of me going to the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit, where I'll be reporting for you. I will be reporting. All right, we got a lot of comments here. Didn't they come out with an iPhone where Final Cut Pro couldn't use a feature until an update? They didn't want a repeat of that. That was the original 13 Pro Max when they started with cinematic mode. Came out before. That's exactly correct. Before Final Cut was updated, you couldn't use it. That's exactly correct. 2 years ago. I believe Final Cut Pro is in between a rock and a hard place. We'll have to see. So sorry, I can't go. I'm going to miss you, Torgrim, but you can, of course, tune into the live streams that we have. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. No more online summit this year? No, the online summit was only during COVID. Okay, 2020, 2021. 2022, they had the summit where it was divided up and was supposed to go to 10 different cities. It only ended up going to 5, but it wasn't this one. A summit is a single location, a single time, not divided into 10. That wasn't a summit. A summit is one place at one time. This is the in-person summit. There is not going to be a virtual version of that. The online summit was only during COVID when we couldn't get together. I expect an iPad Final Cut Pro update for SSD drive compatibility. The only thing that's weird about that, Matthew, is the iPhone 15 Pro Max has a USB controller in it. Do any of the iPads have USB controllers? I don't know, but that could be one of the reasons. I'd export an iPad Final Cut Pro update for I'd expect, he says. Yeah, well, at some point, LumaFusion can do that now. Talking about dates, I never forgot the June 21, 2011 date. Final Cut Pro team is great. What the software now was unimaginable in 2021. Absolutely. The small rig universal camera cage for iPhone looks interesting. I have a universal cage for my iPhone. I never bought custom cages for my iPhones because I update them every year. I'm not going to buy a new cage every year. I have a universal cage. It's much bigger than the iPhone, and I can fit it in. The question is, I want to get an anamorphic lens for both for my Panasonic and for my iPhone. So, but I'm going to sell my Moment lens. They're in pristine shape. It seems to be some inaccuracy for compatibility. It says on the App Store you have to run 13.4 or later. That's what I found out. When I tried to update 13.4, I'm on 13.1. I haven't updated. It's just been lazy. There's no reason to update. So that's what it said. I needed 13.4. Apple Day update. Relocate to an infinite loop. I don't think so. Not this time. You need 13.4, Mac OS 13.4 later to run 10.6.9. I will be updating my Mac OS after I make a backup of it. I'm going to make a backup of it. Yeah, this is a Final Cut Pro Radio t-shirt. If I had enough interest, I'd print up another batch of these. The problem is I got to ship. No, you don't have to ship them out. I can send you the link. You can go get it yourself and get it sent to yourself. I'll think about it. If I have enough interest, I'll get these reprinted. Eric says Pro Video formats update in OS 10 now. Newer iPad Pros have M1, M2 chips, which include Thunderbolt controllers. There you go. That's very cool. Keeping my fingers crossed for 10.7. Well, me too. But if it doesn't come out, I'm not expecting big updates. My expectations are down here. So if they meet my expectations, that's fine. That will be fine. Yeah, they probably didn't update it because I tried to update it and it said you need 13.4 Mac OS. I can update my operating system Sonoma on my MacBook Pro. I cannot. Still never going to use or pay for Final Cut Junior to work on iPad. Okay. Some people are. Anybody aware if MO2 works with the current Final Cut Pro update yet? I think you have to go to MO2 and ask them what the heck's going on, but maybe somebody might know. I'm referring to iPad Final Cut Pro being able to read footage from an SSD recorded on an iPhone 15 Pro. Gotcha. LumaFusion reads off the SSDs. I'm not sure why Final Cut doesn't. They read off of it now. So, thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. So I'm going to check on something here. Well, let's go over to my web page. Let's go over to here. So here's something that's peculiar to me. All of these Mac websites had this ready to go. So they knew in advance this was coming out. They knew in advance because usually they don't catch on that fast to Final Cut Pro updates. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. So all these websites they were ready to go. So we have this one, for example. All of them, 9 to 5 Mac, Apple Insider. Final Cut Pro is ready for the iPhone 15 Pro. They knew about this ahead of time. Their articles were ready to go as soon as this hit the streets. They all of them did this. So obviously they were under embargo. Obviously they were under embargo. And there's the iPad. There's some things for the iPad. So that was interesting. With 6 and 12 terabyte iCloud Port 10, some integration with Final Cut Pro iPad or desktop. That's going to be interesting to see. I'm not paying that much money. MO2 will be replaced, I believe. Let me check on that. Thank you for checking. Thanks, Eric. I don't feel like running 2 versions of Final Cut Pro. I have multiple versions. Product works with Final Cut versions up to 10.6.5 only. If you want to use it, do not update Final Cut Pro to this 10.6.6 version, to the 10.6.6 version or above. Thank you very much, Garrett. I appreciate that. Who are they communicating with, and why do you not get info beforehand? I get some info beforehand. But if it's from a source that doesn't want me to talk about it, I won't talk about it. I get text messages from people on Twitter and stuff, and messages and stuff about different things. But some things I just can't talk about. I don't know anything about 10.7. I can talk about it all I want. Nobody's told me anything about 10.7. My intuition says, well, I don't know. So look at this. Let's go over here. I just posted this last week, talked about Final Cut Pro updates and Mac OS updates. So Sonoma's coming September the 26th, 2023. It's in a couple of days, next Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. And Final Cut is updated a lot of times with Mac OS. Now, obviously 10.7 question mark, because I wasn't sure about that, but it sure came out right before this September 26th date. Because look at these other ones. 10.4.7, October the 7th, same day as Mac OS. 10.5, November the 12th, same day as Mac OS, exact same day. Now this one, October the 18th, came out a week before Mac OS. And then back 10.6.5 last year, the same day as Mac OS. All these Final Cut Pro updates. Now, I didn't figure in, well, Apple said something about this at their iPhone 15 event. They didn't say specifically that. They said in a future update, whatever. So this is it. It came out. I mean, the iPhones aren't going to be out. Maybe they're going to be out to people who review them tomorrow. Maybe that's why Final Cut was updated to use log. I'm excited about the external SSD. I'm excited about log. I'm going to try both of those. Come on, Richard, spill the beans. I would never betray any trust I have. Anybody that tells me something in confidence, it'll remain in confidence. Well, you should be included in all info, in my opinion. You are one of the most dedicated users and supporters. That would be fine, but here's the problem. If I was included, I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't talk about 10.7 possibly coming out at the summit because I would know something. I know things. Nobody said anything about 10.7. Could it come out at the summit? It absolutely can. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. Appreciated very, very much. So, let's see. Back to the release notes, 10.7. 10.6.9. So 10.7's got to be right around the corner, don't you think? This is what I'm curious about. Add support for cinematic video recorded with iOS 17. This doesn't even say with the iPhone 15. It says iOS 17. I have not updated to iOS 17 yet. I have not done that. So, I'll be curious what iOS 17 does. We also have improvements and bug fixes, fixes an issue where that caused motion templates not to respond to opacity parameter, fixes an issue that caused duplicating a project to result in the original project opening in the timeline, fixes an issue that caused some Canon 4K 24 frames per second media not to be recognized properly. This is a big one. Fixes an issue that could cause the app to stop responding when the share menu was opened. Well, that's a big one. Fixes an issue where background render would sometimes not complete when stabilization or rolling shutter were selected in the inspector. So we got bug fixes, and we got a couple of things for the iPhone. This is absolutely, hands down, an iPhone 15 Pro. Thank you for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. This is absolutely a Final Cut Pro update specifically for the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, which is coming out in a couple of days. Absolutely. This is an iPhone update for Final Cut. So let's do this. Mine arrives. It could have shipped already. Mine arrives by Friday. I will do a iPhone quick video on Friday when it comes. I'll be waiting for it. I'll do an unboxing and just do a quick test, and then I'll be shooting all weekend, and I'll do some tests on it, my own tests. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. I will be doing some tests with the iPhone 15. I have a 15 Pro Max 1 terabyte. I'm very excited to see how fast the data is transferred off of that drive. How fast. It says up to 10 gigabits per second. We'll have to see how that works. I hope they have a major update soon. I would like to update to a Mac Mini Studio, but need a reason. Good point. So here's the thing. My expectations are not high. They're not way up sky high like they used to be. In 2019, I was expecting 10.5 at the Creative Summit. We didn't get it till a year later. So at that point, I reset my expectations to be down here. I hope we get 10.7, or at least a preview at 10.7 at the Creative Summit. That's what I'm hoping. There's no reason why 10.6.9 couldn't come out for the iPhone in September and 10.7 still can come out in November around the Creative Summit. It's not another question, but I'm not going to let my expectations go up until something like that happens. I want the Final Cut Pro team to raise my expectations because my expectations are low at this point for Final Cut Pro. This is a nice surprise to us iPhone 15 Pro Max users. Absolutely is. I'm just going to check one thing real quick. Why can't I find, let me just check one thing real quick. I'm going to put this on. Just going to see. Why is this not coming out? Why is Safari not coming out? Oh, I don't know. I do not know. I just wanted to check, make sure. Let's put it there. Safari. Oh, Ecamm Live. Huh. Very interesting. All right, let's get back to the program. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We got a lot of people watching. If you have any questions about Final Cut Pro 10.6.9, it is absolutely an iPhone. Listen, have we ever updated Final Cut Pro for the iPhone? I mean, 2 years ago, they updated for cinematic mode. This is for log and some other things. I ordered the 15 Pro Max, but delivered up north till October 15-ish. I guess they are looking for Sled Dog Team to deliver. Yeah, keep checking, because a lot of times they will get it to you sooner. A lot of times Apple will absolutely get it to you sooner. Now, I have the prepared for shipping so far. Thank you for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. I have the prepared for shipping so far, but I haven't got the actual ship date yet. So that's going to be very interesting. Let's go over here to graphics. Well, I'm just going to. For anybody that doesn't know, Final Cut Pro TV Live 10.6.9 update. It is updated to 10.6.9. Absolutely. Let me just see. Oh, let me see what's going on there. MacBook Pro speakers, Scarlett USB. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing fine. That's what this show's about. 10.6.9 updated. I still don't discount that we'll see 10.7 this fall. If not at the Creative Summit, a preview at the Creative Summit, and then it'll come out later or the first of the year, whenever they want. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. Roz says thumbs up. Thank you very much. Absolutely. So, let's go over to here. Let me add a new title. I'm just going to do this real quick. I'm just going to add this real quick. Here it is, buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor. There you go. That's where you can buy me a coffee, support me, support these live streams, support me going to the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit, which I will be streaming live and reporting live from there as much as I can. I don't know what Apple is going to do on Apple Day. We typically can't record or take photographs of something that hasn't been released yet. They don't want us to take pictures of their employees for their privacy, et cetera, et cetera. But I have been able to record in the demo room prior. I have been able to record in the demo room at the Creative Summit at different times. So I'll be reporting from the lobby of the hotel. I'll be reporting from breakfast if we have dinner and stuff. I'll be doing a lot of live reportings, and everything costs money. The meals cost money, Uber costs money, transportation all costs money for me to get there. And I'm asking the listeners to support me. Buy a coffee, $5, $10, whatever. So let me just see. I want to check on one thing. Seven. Oh, I didn't have that going on. So when Apple did the event, the iPhone 15 event, thank you for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. They talked about this. They talked about the iPhone 15 Pro Max recording SSD. They talked about the log ability for the iPhone 15 Pro Max to record log. Final Cut Pro has been updated to take care of that. So I will be updating my Mac OS. I'm not going to rush into it. I have a couple of days. I'm going to make a complete backup of the Mac OS I have now. Then I'll update the Mac OS. I've already made a copy of my Final Cut Pro in the applications folder. I've already done that. That is done. That is done. I have a copy. So then I'll try to update to 10.6.9 because my iPhone's coming Friday and I want to be able to shoot log and I want to be able to edit in Final Cut Pro. So there you go. What is an update that you were actually all excited about with this year's updates? That I was excited about? I haven't been excited about an update since a year ago, March, I guess. But now I'm excited because I got the iPhone 15 coming, so I can shoot log and edit it in Final Cut Pro. What reactions will surface if no news at the summit? Surely they will have to give us something, right? I think so. I think so. 2019, they didn't give us anything. People were disappointed. People were very disappointed in 2019. We're going to be at the campus. I mean, I'm excited about, listen, my expectations are not up there. 2019, my expectations were up here for 10.5. Didn't happen. At that point, my expectations are now reset, and they've been down here ever since because 10.5 and 10.6, yes, there's been some features, but nothing like prior updates. And we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. 10.7 obviously is coming. 10.6 was out 2 years ago. It's time for 10.7. This is an iPhone fix. This is an iPhone update, specifically for the iPhone. So Final Cut Junior was also updated today. I saw that. I saw that it absolutely was. I'm excited. I got my phone coming in less than a month. We're going to have the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit, one way or the other. Look, if Final Cut Pro 10.7 comes out around the summit or it's announced around the summit and comes out later, that's fantastic. At that point, depending on what's in 10.7, my expectations could be raised. Right now, they're still down here. I don't care this time because, number one, in 2019, we didn't get anything. There's no updates, Final Cut. This time, we're going to Apple Campus. That in itself is fantastic. A whole day at Apple Campus. Here is Apple Campus, Apple Park, they call it. Apple Day. Stay tuned for more details. Here it is, November the 6th to the 8th, Apple Park. Apple Park. Apple Park. We're having an entire day at Apple Park. That alone is worth me going to California for. Everything else is just icing on the cake. A full day at Apple Park. There's no other way I'm going to get into Apple Park at this point. Maybe there's some other reason. that I can't talk about, but maybe, but I haven't been there yet, and I'm looking forward to it. Apple Park, get to see all of our Final Cut Pro friends. I'll be reporting live from the Creative Summit in the lobby before the sessions start, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to be filming with my iPhone 15 Pro Max and my Lumix S5 Mark II X. It's a great low light camera. And there will be broadcast from a summit? No, not from the summit, not Future Media Concepts. No, there's no coverage of the summit. It's not live streamed. I will be live streaming, reporting behind the scenes, giving you any updates that I'm allowed to talk about. I'm going to presume if they show us 10.7, we're going to be allowed to talk about it. They showed us 10.4 in advance. No, 10.4 was out. 10.4.4, they showed us in advance. We were allowed to talk about it. That is very, very cool. That's what I expect to happen again. I don't expect there to be any problems, any holdbacks on that. So let's look at this real quick. Besides going to Apple Campus, Apple Park, Spaceship Campus, we're going to Apple Park. Besides going there we'll see the Final Cut Pro team. Look at this. At the end, dialogue with Apple, Q&A with the Final Cut Pro team. This is the closing of the summit. The final session is Q&A with the Final Cut Pro team. Yeah? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's another reason why I'm excited to go. Plus, we get to see all our friends. There's lots of sessions, 2 days of sessions, and then 1 day at Apple Park. I'm excited, looking forward to it, getting ready, testing equipment, testing microphones, all these things. If you have one question to ask to Apple, what are you asking? I'll think about that. We are allowed to, let me just check one thing real quick. We are allowed to, okay, submit questions in advance. It's both a live event. Thank you for the thumbs up, and it's appreciated. It's both a live event. What happens is the Final Cut Pro team is in front of the room. They're sitting in chairs typically. And then everybody from the summit is in the room. 150, 200 people perhaps. We can submit questions in advance. We can also ask live questions. Doesn't mean they're going to answer everything. Doesn't mean they're going to answer everything, but we're allowed to ask. There is a casual atmosphere. You're not allowed to record. You're not allowed to audio record, video record. I'm not sure about pictures. Probably not. You can't take pictures of the Final Cut Pro team because of their privacy. I don't know if we can take pictures of the crowd. Hopefully we can before the Final Cut Pro team gets there, or just turn around and take pictures of the sessions. I'll be taking pictures of all the sessions, video of all the sessions. I'm not going to stream the whole session. I'll get 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I'll be, like I said, reporting live in the mornings. I'll be reporting live Sunday night when I arrive. I'll be reporting midday if there's anything going on, just to let everybody know. But, hey, show me some love. Buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee. $5, $10. Some people buy $20, $25 worth. Buymeacoffee.com. It is appreciated, sincerely appreciated. It's not just coffee, although I do buy a lot of coffee. I do spend a lot of coffee. It's also Uber rides and transportation, meals, and everything else. It is appreciated if you pitch in. $5, $10, couple coffees, whatever you like. So to answer your question, I'll have more than one. I'll have more than one question. I'll have a series of questions. I'm also going to ask you, the audience, submit questions to me. Submit your questions to me. Now, don't be professional, and I'll pick the top 5 questions and I'll submit them to the Final Cut Pro team from the audience. So you can do that. Where can you do that? Well, let's find out where you can do that. Let me see. What can I have here? Go to Facebook, our Facebook group. Go to Facebook and search for Final Cut Radio TV. You can submit them there. You can submit them on this live stream. After the live stream's over, if you watch this tomorrow, you watch this the next day, after the live stream's over, submit your questions in the comments. I will get a list of questions and I'll submit them to the Final Cut Pro team. I'll maybe pick 5. Maybe we'll vote on it, which ones we want to ask the Final Cut Pro team in a future episode. Will the open letter be addressed? Some of it has been, but I know what you're talking about, Torgrim. Please, applause for the Final Cut Pro team. Thanks. I spent all weekend at IBC in Amsterdam. I saw what resolve can Final Cut Pro team wait. Not sure what that means. Yes, absolutely. Applause to the Final Cut Pro team. We love the Final Cut Pro team. Absolutely. So has everybody excited? The iPhones are coming out Friday. Mine's coming out Friday. At least by Friday. Maybe it'll come out earlier. Maybe I'll get it Thursday. Who the heck knows? But anyway, stay tuned to my YouTube channel, Richard Taylor TV. I'll do an unboxing of the iPhone, and I'm going to show you how to use the iPhone 14 next to the 15, transfer all the data over. I'm not going to do everything in real time. I'll do some short videos and put them up. And then I'm going to do some testing on the iPhone 15 for sure. I got the 1 terabyte black. I'm excited about it. I'm actually excited that Final Cut was updated for an iPhone. I'm excited that Final Cut was updated for an iPhone. And yes, this is a Final Cut Pro Radio t-shirt. They sold out a long time ago, but if I got enough interest, I might support getting these again. If people want to find out about it, contact me on Twitter, Richard Taylor TV, or on our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/ Final Cut Radio TV. Here is the Buy Me a Coffee address. This is the Buy Me a Coffee address. Support me going to the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Support these live streams. We'll be back on Saturday morning. I always say on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock Eastern, Final Cut TV and coffee. We have coffee. We talk about the weeks, anything that happens with Final Cut. I'll have my iPhone this week. I'm not going to get all, it depends what time it comes on Friday. I'll be shooting with it the whole weekend, but depends on what time it arrives on Friday. And I'm going to sell my iPhone 14 Pro Max on local Facebook marketplace. I'll be selling it there. buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor. Exciting days. Exciting days are coming ahead. Let me just check. Well, I know it's working. Everything's working fine. I didn't even switch. Usually I switch. No, I did not decide. I did not design the t-shirt. Fox Mahoney designed it for me a couple years ago. 3 years ago, 4 years ago. We sold out, but I might do them again. I mean, I don't think t-shirts are cheap anymore, are they? I'll look into it. I'll look into it and let you know. Once again, you can follow along at, let me just see something here. graphics. I'm just looking for somewhere along here. I don't see it. I don't see it. Anyway, go to Facebook, search for Final Cut Radio TV. You can find our Facebook group. We just passed 2,000 members over there. That's a nice little group. So any questions you have, you can also post them, of course, here on the YouTube. Even after the YouTube is finished, you can come back in and post comments. So if you're interested in a t-shirt, let me know. If you're interested in submitting a question to the Final Cut Pro team, submit them to me, and I'll make a list. And I'll pick 5 to submit to the Final Cut Pro team. Doesn't mean they're going to answer them. It does not mean that they're going to answer them. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. 4:41 Eastern. We'll be back on Saturday morning, if not before 10 a.m. Eastern. I might go early this year. Let me think. No, we'll go 10 a.m. Eastern. That'll be fine. If you wonder what we're talking about, Final Cut Pro 10.6.9. This is an iPhone 15 Pro Max update. iPhone 15 Pro update. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Don't be silly. Of course it's not 8-bit. 8-bit? I think it's 10-bit, right? The ProRes to the external SSD, isn't it 10-bit? They have, I don't remember. No, I know the ProRes is 10-bit. Some of it's even 12-bit. So August the 1st, we got our 10.6.8, and then 6 weeks later, we got 10.6.9, which has, it's like I said, this is an update for the iPhone 15 Pro. So thank you for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. We'll have to see what indeed happens. All right. I guess if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go get ready for dinner. I eat dinner early. I go to bed early, and I get up early. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. Go out for a 2-mile walk. So here's the things on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Top of the line, USB-C. Top of the line, you can record directly to an SSD. Fantastic. Fantastic. Top of the line, I can transfer my files at USB 3 speeds. Thank you for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. I can transfer files instead of that horrible lightning speed of USB 2 that we've had for years. I record, I have a 1 terabyte SSD. I have a lot of files on there. It's been torture getting files off of that phone. Very, very much so. So the SSD, the USB-C, absolutely, it is appreciated. By the way, I want to say hi to all the people that are watching from all the different Facebook groups. On Facebook, Final Cut Pro Facebook groups, I want to say hi to everybody out there that watches and supports these live streams. I appreciate you all stopping by. Of course, my YouTube channel, Richard Taylor TV. That's the other one. Yes. So this is going to be a busy, busy time. I will be back on Friday for sure with a little update on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And I'll be back Saturday morning at our usual time, Final Cut TV and coffee. and nothing else was going to happen, right? There's no other surprise coming with Final Cut. I don't think so. I'll hang on here for another minute or so. See if anybody has any questions, any comments. Don't forget the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Absolutely. Where is that? Here it is. Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Not only are we going to Apple Campus all day Monday, 2 days of top-notch training. Thank you for the thumbs up. 2 days of top-notch training. You get to see people. You get to see people you see on YouTube. Of course, Steve Martin's going to be there. Of course, he's going to be there. I'm going to be there. A cast of Final Cut Pro characters from all around the web are going to be there. You get to have lunch and dinner with some of them. You get to meet with them. You get to chat. You get to talk to the Final Cut Pro team. If there's a Final Cut Pro 10.7 update, that's a bonus. But just going to the Spaceship Campus for an entire day, to me, is worth the $299. To me, it's worth $299 just to go to Apple Park Spaceship Campus for an entire day. What are we going to do for an entire day? Well, they'll have a welcoming ceremony. Welcome to the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Now, I presume typically Future Media does that. Typically, they do the intro welcome. They do the interest welcome. The intro welcome. Then we'll probably go see a presentation from the Final Cut Pro team, which is typical. We certainly will see one. So that's 2 hours, 3 hours. What are we doing for the rest of the time? Well, we'll get to go to the store, the Apple store there, buy swag. We'll have lunch. We'll get to be able to go buy lunch, or if they provide lunch, one or the other, would be fantastic. What are we doing for the rest of the day? Well, typically we go see the Final Cut Pro team presentation. Latest thing about Final Cut Pro, maybe some case studies of some films that have done in Final Cut Pro. After that, usually we have snacks and coffee and sandwiches and stuff. And then we go to a demo room to watch Final Cut Pro demoed on the latest Mac hardware. That's what we've done in the past, except for 2019. 2019, the demo room was empty. It wasn't anything new. We couldn't take pictures. We couldn't film anything. 2016, 17, 18, and 2016, 17, and 18, we could film in the demo room. 2019, no. You can't film in here this year. So it was really dead. It was very, very dead. There was no new update to Final Cut Pro. You couldn't update. You couldn't take pictures in the demo room. So this year I expect to be able to. Something. Come on. If you film and log, how do you check exposure on an iPhone? I'll let you know Friday. Maybe there'll be some support articles out between now and Friday. I don't know. I think they're letting the press, thank you for the thumbs up, it's appreciated. I think they're letting the press review the iPhone before it arrives in stores, which is on Friday, before it arrives in users' hands, which is on Friday. As you know, I'm getting mine on Friday. So before it comes in on Friday, I think maybe reviews are coming out tomorrow morning. Maybe they're going to be embargoed until then. But I guess the point is we'll find out how we're going to expose for log on the iPhone. That's a good question. That's a very good question. We will find out. I presume hopefully it's 10-bit. I don't know. 10-bit now because you got external SSDs you can record to. 10-bit now because you can transfer the footage via USB 3 speeds. So I presume that's all going to be answered shortly. All right, I'm going to get out of here, everybody. I got dinner. I got to feed the cats and talk to my cats and stuff. If I'll be back here Friday when I get my iPhone on YouTube, back on Facebook. I'll be back Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, our usual Final Cut TV and coffee. I appreciate it. Appreciate all of you tuning in. We have the best audience available. If you have questions, submit them to me. I'll submit them. I'll take the top 5 and submit them to the Final Cut Pro team. All right, everyone, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get some dinner, and I'll talk to you Friday, if not before. Thanks for tuning in.